Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to this video. Today I have an interview with my friend Trey Cockrum. This is actually the other way around. A couple of weeks ago I uploaded a video where I interviewed him. This is the video he put on his channel where he interviewed me, but I thought it was pretty valuable. But hopefully you guys can gain some knowledge from it, so I hope you enjoy.
All right, so I'm in the meeting room with Bradley. What's going on, Bradley?
Hey, man. Thank you for having me on the channel.
Yeah, excited to have you here, man. Honored just that we can connect and share strategies. So go ahead and tell people about sort of what you do. I mean, I know people already know that you run the six-figure agency, that you come at, training your students in a completely different way than most people do, and that you're seeing incredible results with all of them. But just go ahead and introduce us a little bit more personal, just like what got you started, why you're doing what you're doing, and then tell us where you're at now.
Kind of addicted to video games. And for me, confidence was always a big problem. I really struggled to speak in front of people. I didn't have good social skills. And when I wanted to start my business, the thought of cold calling, which was what everyone was shoving down your throat, it just scared the life out of me. And as much as I wanted to start my company, it was holding me back. And I was so miserable in my job at the time that rather than just make the excuse of, I'm just not going to do it, I'm going to give up and just carry on working this job that I hate, I ended up working around it. And that's how I stumbled upon my strategy of using freelance websites. Initially, I started out as a freelancer. I was working in my business, putting in all the hours, doing everything myself. And then over time, I started to invest more into programs and coaches. And I turned that freelance business into an agency where today, I'm able to generate very consistent leads. This week alone, I've generated several prospect calls. I had a couple today, and these pretty much all come in automated from the systems I've built. And again, this is all come off the back of not wanting to cold call and to stumble upon this other approach. And it's funny because most people kind of think that freelance websites are a place to get low ticket clients, and it's only for people who want to be paid $3 an hour. And whilst that is true to some degree, there's definitely a lot of people on there who do want to shortchange you and not pay you a lot. Just like anything, there is the gold dust there, and there is a lot of high paying clients. And that's kind of how I got my start in business, was through these freelance websites.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So tell us a bit about a bit more in depth about the methodologies that you have in terms of freelance websites, because I think a lot of people have like the wrong idea. I think a lot of people think that freelance websites are like for low end $50, $60 like graphic design exchanges, and maybe video editing stuff. But like, tell us a bit about like, maybe some of the clients that you've landed from these websites, maybe not their name or anything like that with the NDAs there. Just the amount that they're paying you, and then, sort of more of the process in which you use to actually get them on board and build authority with them. Because I think a lot of people feel as if a freelance website might be a barrier between the relationship between a client and you, but maybe speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So again, as I mentioned, there is definitely a lot of jobs on there for $50, $60 graphic design jobs. But like anything, the way I kind of like to look at business is I have a solution for somebody's problem. And when you're cold calling, that problem may not always be there. You're cold calling a business that may not have an issue with social media. They may not be interested in it. But with social media marketing on freelance websites, you're going direct to people who need your help. So you're getting straight past the gatekeeper. There's none of that side of the business. It's straight to the owner, straight to the decision maker. And you just need to be the solution to their problem. And what I found a lot of the time is I may find someone who initially was only looking to pay $300, $400, $500 a month, but by getting them into the top of my funnel, I've been able to turn them into $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 per month clients. And some of the recent clients I landed in January, I landed three $2,000 per month clients, a couple $1,500 per month clients. And, I still take on the occasional smaller social media management client for $500, $600, but you can get these bigger clients on there. And the biggest tip I can give for anyone to take people from maybe just a freelancer into charging higher retainers, it all comes down to the way you position yourself and being a figure of authority. Because if you position yourself as a timid freelancer, you're going to get paid timid freelancer rates. Whether you have experience or not, if you portray yourself like you've got all the experience, you build yourself a website, like, a real agency website, and you tell people you run an agency. Like I make it very apparent on my freelancer profiles that I run an agency. I've got a team of 9 people. And when I do that, it automatically makes me stand up from the crowd. And the way I've written my profile, from the cover letter that I use, it's very apparent to people that I value my time that I run hopefully on the surface, it looks like a large company. And when I engage with conversation, a lot of the time, these business owners already have respect for me, and therefore, they're respecting my time, and I can charge a bit more because of that.
Wow, that's cool. I haven't heard the perspective of, you're going straight to the decision maker,
Yeah.
That's neat. That's really cool. So speak a bit to like some of the other methodologies that you've tried, because I know that, your brand, a lot of what you teach is based off of utilizing these freelance websites properly. So I'd love to help you speak to like some of the other methodologies that you've tried and why they just don't really work in comparison. And then even maybe talk about after that, some of the students that have gone on to see results with the content you put out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, for me, cold calling as an introvert, my confidence is definitely built over the last couple of years. When you check yourself in the deep end, you kind of have to adapt. So now, I would happily make a cold call. But for me, when I have such a consistent form of leads, cold calling for me isn't something that ever appeals to me. But other things I'm looking into right now are things like LinkedIn. I mean, I don't know if you use LinkedIn.
A little bit.
I'm also trying to build up my personal brand and leverage that to get more clients. But to be honest with you, man, I really haven't looked too deep into other client acquisition methods besides the freelance websites. Yeah. Obviously, it depends the way you look at it, because, I've had a lot of referrals as well. So I get a lot of business from referrals and from current clients. So in that respect, the business does grow itself. So that is another avenue. I had a couple come around from the personal brand. But, for me, even if I see somebody on a freelance website, that's not saying that I might not reach out to them via cold email. I add every single lead I get into a CRM, and if they go cold, I will follow up with them in a cold email or a call or a social media DM. So to some respect, I kind of do use all the different angles, but that initiates from, that initial freelance website most of the time. How have you found it yourself? Because did you get clients more from cold methods or?
For me, I've built 2 systems. I've built proper referral systems within my business. I give massive referral incentives. Start for me was I partnered with, 2 local businesses, and they started referring me clients. And now I don't do much local at all. Even I didn't charge them a thing. I said the payment method that you're giving me is other businesses to work with. And then besides that, I've built funnels, lead magnet funnels and stuff like that. And I also now I'm hiring a sales team to sell me for me. And I'm just commission. And so those are sort of the routes that I've gone, because the freelance website thing is so interesting to me because, I have never heard that perspective before of you're going straight to the decision maker, because ultimately who goes on the website? Well, people who are in need. And so that's just the route to go. And I totally love that. And I love too, I've followed you on Instagram. Your story's just filled constantly with people who, they're utilizing your strategies and they're getting results. Who are some of your favorite students and the people that have really gone on to make this work?
Yeah, honestly, man, it's crazy. So for me, and this because we've spoken a fair bit now recently, but for me, definitely, man. And for me, like, results is everything. So I love my social media agency, and I love social media marketing. I love the service. I'm super passionate about it. But for me, what I enjoy most on that side of the business, like the B2B, I love getting results for my clients. And the same goes this way. And this is exactly why I started my coach business and released a program. Obviously the money's cool, right? But the truth is, it doesn't matter. Like, when I wake up in the morning, 6 a.m. and I've got a message from some person closing a deal, like, that is just the most important thing for me. And no matter what mood I'm in, if I get a message like that, it completely transforms everything. And, I've had a ton of success stories, to be honest. Like, there's a couple of people now that have gone on to hit 6 figures just from utilizing like Upwork and freelance websites.
Awesome.
Crazy story. I had, I'm unsure on the age, but he's either 14 or 15, still in school. He messaged me about 3 or 4 days ago. And he said to me, Brad, I really want to hop in your program. I've got a couple of worries. I'm a little bit scared on a few things. I helped him overcome those limiting beliefs. And I said to him, like, look, let's get you enrolled. We got him enrolled. I got a message from him this morning. He closed a client and he's got another prospect, which is really hot, within like 4 days. And he's a 14-year-old, 15-year-old at school, no money. And he's gone on to land his first client.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah. I've had, another amazing thing about this method is that it doesn't matter where you're based. I've had a couple of people in India. There's one guy in India that's gone on to land 15 plus clients.
Wow.
Absolutely insane. And considering the cost of living in India, that guy he's making way more money than he needs to be making.
He's a high roller now. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. So there's a lot of success stories. Like I said, several people onto 6 figures, but it just depends on what people's motivation are. Some people don't want to use SMMA forever. They just kind of want anything now, any business model to get off the ground.
Right.
And then maybe they want to go into drop shipping. But what I love about social media marketing, and especially this business model, is you don't need any money to start. There's no capital upfront cost or anything like that. You don't really need any experience. And with freelance websites, doesn't matter what time of day it is, you know, with a cold call, you have to wait till the business is open. With a freelance website, it is always open. You can just start applying for jobs immediately. And I'm pretty sure that's why it's seen a lot of success.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really, really cool. I think something that you can speak to my audience, you know, because I don't teach the freelance website method at all. How does somebody like get started? Like, what are some of the basics that they can follow in terms of actually making this work for themselves? Because I know it's such a low hanging fruit. And hearing you talk about it, I think I might implement it into my own agency because I just haven't touched it. You know. So, just what are some of the basics? Like, give us a couple of steps to get started.
For sure. So the good thing about freelance websites, and what I really, really like about it, especially for beginners, is everyone speaks about social media marketing, right? The Facebook ads. But something that I push a lot is social media management. And social media management on freelance websites is everywhere, because it's a lot harder to cold call a business and try and sell them on social media management. You can do it easily with social media marketing because you can show them, if we do this for X amount of time, we can make this return on investment. Like, it's black and white. Right. It's a logical sell. It's emotional, right? Social media management's a funny one, because just because you're posting on a client's Facebook page, as much as it's necessary, it's not going to drive traffic to their door. Okay. It's as simple as that. Right. But a lot of businesses need it, and a lot of businesses want it. And with the freelance websites, you can go on there, you can search Instagram management, Facebook management, social media management, and you can get a ton of jobs come up for posting. So even if you have no experience, this is a really big tip for people to take away, because I find so many people, especially, they want to get started, but they kind of have like this perfection paralysis where it's like, I want to start, but I'm not as good as I want to be yet. So they don't actually do it. Yep. And I know a lot of people can relate to that, because I was like that in the beginning. But with the social media management stuff, all you're doing is posting on social media. Like, honestly, and I tried to explain this to my friends who aren't, you know, business owners and that, like, it really is that simple. You know, you get paid, admittedly not huge retainers, but $500, $600, $700, $800 a month to literally post on social media. So for anyone who's got any kind of experience, go onto the freelance websites, create an account. You know, make sure your profile photo is clear. You know, it's a nice headshot. It doesn't have to be fantastic, but make sure it's a clear image. Set your profile up, you know, and the biggest key is to model success. So go and take a look at other freelancers. Look at the people on the platform that are charging, if you do 10 a day, 300 a month, 1% close rate, you've closed 3 clients in your first month. And with these freelance websites, a 1% closing rate is so low. Like, I'm probably right now at about a 10% close rate. And I know there's a lot of people out there who an average is probably about 4%. So if you do the low end of things, you can still see how powerful this is. Whether you do management or marketing.
That's crazy. 10% close rate is crazy. 10% close rate on all the leads that contact you through the freelance websites?
That's like from any lead that I reach out to, yes. So most of the time, I would say 75 to 80% of the people I get on the phone are closed. And look, not because I'm some master salesman, because I'm not. I know sales, I know persuasion, but it's not my strongest skill in the world. Right. It's just because the leads are so warm, it's hard not to close them, if that makes sense. As long as your solution is there. Maybe they have an objection on price. Maybe you need to know a little bit of sales skills on how to overcome the objections. But beside that, like, it's pretty much a done deal every time, providing that you show that you care, you generally care, you have passion for what you do. You know, that it's honestly so easy to go and for anybody to start today, to be honest.
Yeah, and I made a video recently about that. I was like, why social media marketing is like the best business to get into. It's because the market is shifting towards this being a necessary service for every business. And so you don't have to be even that good to sell it. Like, not that you should sell a crappy service, but a business would rather have something than nothing. And if they can fill that something gap with you, then it's just so easy to tap into. And I love the perspective that
for sure.
So go ahead and we'll start to wrap this up a little bit then. Go ahead and let people know sort of where they can find you. What they can expect from your content, because you have a YouTube channel and you got Instagram and all these platforms. And then leave us with sort of one last tidbit of like advice from my audience in terms of, you know, building their business off of the platform of freelance websites. It seems like it's such an easy tap into low hanging fruit.
Yeah, for sure. Look, the first tip, you know, I'll go into all my socials and stuff in a second, but the biggest tip I can tell for anyone is don't put money first. And like, I know it sounds stupid, right? You're running a business. Like, obviously cash flow is important. Like, let's not be silly, right? Obviously cash flow is important. But if you put money first, you're not going to find success. If you genuinely care about helping people and building the best service. And obviously when you first get started out, it may not be the best, but if every single day you're looking to hire a new top 1% expert for your Facebook ads, or you're in the trenches investing into programs and learning how to become the best, Facebook ads person, or, learning everything you can about Instagram growth. If you generally care about your service, providing the best service and the results for your clients, more so than you care about your profit and how much you're taking home, then you'll start to see a funny thing, which is your business will grow itself from referrals, and you no longer have to be the person that's actively seeking it. You're very much in a position where people come to you. And in the short term, yes, you may not win. You may not be on a 6-figure take-home salary right away, but if you wait 12 months, 24 months, you'll be on a 7-figure take-home, And in my opinion, caring about providing the best service, caring about your buyers, caring about your clients, or your students, whatever it may be, is the most important business tip. And I know you're a strong believer in that as well. Like I know that.
Believe in that, bro. I'm glad you're saying it, because people tell me I say that too often. So I'm happy that you're saying it too, because I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So go ahead and talk about your content, where people can find you and what they can expect when they check it.
Of course, man. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Bradley J. Riley. Search Bradley Riley on YouTube. I will probably come up somewhere.
Yeah, links are on the description.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
That's the main 2 platforms I'm on. To be honest, I do have Facebook. I don't use it as much. For me, Instagram and YouTube are the main 2 that I'm pushing. If you come onto my channel, the main thing you can expect, social media marketing stuff. I'm super big on pushing this freelance method. So if you want to learn more about it, you can find out there. And just what we spoke about here, delivering happiness, delivering the best, building a team, automation, all that kind of stuff is kind of my main focus. So if you need any help with that, be sure to come and check me out.
That's awesome. Well, it's been awesome having you on the channel, Bradley. Appreciate your time. And
thank you,
everybody go check out his stuff. I trust him. I trust his content with your viewership. I'm very picky with who I partner with on this stuff. Trust that Bradley's really going to take care of you. Definitely spend some time digging into his content. So thanks once again, Bradley. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, man.
If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like down below. Comment if you have any comments. I'll respond to them one at a time. I read every single comment. Hope you enjoyed. Hope we brought you some value together today. And I'll be sure to see you in the next one.